Welcome to the Awkward Geek. It's daily 19 and today's date is December 30th, 2011. So it's New Year's Eve. Obviously I haven't done a daily in a little bit. I'm sorry about that. I've been sort of busy with work. I just realized when I was looking at the website for my job that I worked last week, the last pay period I worked 50 hours in 1 week. This week I'm going to be working, I think I can double check it, but I think it's like 56 or maybe even over 60 hours in 1 week. It's pretty crazy. I'm working a lot of hours. The paycheck is going to be very nice, but it's definitely it's tiring, and I'll definitely need to find a good balance there because I don't want to overwork myself. I don't want to end up being too exhausted. But obviously it's already impacted how I'm doing these dailies, so hopefully I'll still be able to keep doing them more often, like I said I would, but it's been tiring, so I haven't always gotten them done on time. And I had yesterday off, but I didn't make one yesterday because I was hanging out with my friend. I still haven't made a nickname for her yet. I told her I was gonna call her like emo lady or emo kid, but then she protested because she said I'm not emo, which is true. She's not. She's not strictly speaking emo. She just sort of comes off that way. She gives that vibe sometimes. And I'm such a bad friend for saying that when she's not actually emo, but she does, and I think she can laugh about it. So I still haven't created a nickname for her. It's not like, I actually feel like it's a good thing that I haven't created a nickname for her yet, because I think it means it's an important thing for me. I want to get one that's right, instead of just making one up that doesn't sound good for her. I want to make one that's right because she values our friendship and I value our friendship, and so I want it to be a good nickname. But I was hanging out with her for quite a while yesterday, so I didn't get to making a daily. Not that I didn't have time to. I still sort of wasted a lot of time in the day, but I drove over 200 miles yesterday, 230 I think, something like that. Miles yesterday between going down to pick her up and then go back up towards Boston to go do some stuff around there, and then dropping my sister off at some of our family's house in North Attleboro. It was a lot of driving. But it was fun. I actually had a lot of fun hanging out, and I realized I really do need to get out more and hang out with people more, and I don't do that enough. So hopefully that'll happen in the future, that I'll sort of be inspired to go out and do more with people, because it's just a lot more fun that way. And I'm sort of a person it's weird, I'm not antisocial. I used to be antisocial. I'm not antisocial, but I'm so awkward socially, and so it makes it difficult for me to be a social person. I tend to avoid social situations because it's just easier to do that. But it's not because I'm antisocial. It's not because I hate people. People do energize me. I'm definitely an introvert, but people do energize me to some extent, which is more of an extrovert trait. And I feel more invigorated when I'm around, good, healthy doses of other people. And I don't get that enough because I just don't hang out with a lot of people, and I'm a really bad friend. And I should probably do it. I don't remember if I did a vlog on this. I don't think I have, but I should do a vlog on this because it's actually sort of a big topic. One of the places that we went to was Whole Foods. I've been trying to eat healthier lately, and I remember the first time I went to Whole Foods, I realized everything was so expensive, and I was like, geez, why is it all so expensive? I didn't realize it was like an organic supermarket, organic and all that stuff, and healthier options. But then I decided I really wanted to eat healthier, and I think I already mentioned that. And I realized that there were certain things that Whole Foods sells that other stores don't sell. Like, I realized that they used high fructose corn syrup, I think, in most peanut butters, as well as vegetable oil, which is actually not that good for you. Like, there are certain oils that are good for you, or not necessarily good for you, but not bad for you. But just plain old vegetable oil is actually sort of bad for you, apparently. And all that's used to make peanut butter, and all you really need to make peanut butter is just peanuts and a little bit of salt. Technically you don't even need the salt, but just a little bit of salt and peanuts, and you've got your basic peanut butter. But most stores don't sell peanut butter like that because most people won't eat it. So in order to get that, I'd have to go to Whole Foods. And so Whole Foods also has some other things that I'm interested in too, in trying to eat healthier. So I figured I'd visit it, just sort of see what's around there, and what the prices were like specifically, so I could sort of gauge whether or not it's something I could do. And I think I will be trying to get stuff from there more often. I realized though when I got the peanut butter that I am really used to high fructose corn syrup peanut butter because it wasn't the peanut butter that I got from there wasn't sweet enough for me, and I was like, "Geez, that's bad." It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad by any means. It's something I can definitely get used to. But I think I might try adding some honey to some of the peanut butter and just sort of ease into the less sweet peanut butter. And it's definitely going to be much healthier in the long run because it has so much less stuff in it. It's just better. So I'm used to it. But because it doesn't have a lot of the thickening agents the other peanut butters have, it's actually really messy, which is also something I'm not used to. I also got cashew butter, and I decided to try it in the car. I was like, oh, I'm going to try this because I love cashews. Cashew butter will be amazing, and I'm going to like have a food-gasm when I try it. That's what I thought. It actually wasn't as amazing as I thought it was because it also wasn't sweetened, and it's something I'm going to have to get used to. Though I probably won't get used to cashew butter because it's way too expensive. It was $9.99 for a jar of it, and the jar was smaller than the peanut butter, so probably not going to happen. But anyways, I went to try it, and I opened it up, and it was the first time opening it up, so it had to be a little bit harder than normal. And I got cashew butter all over my coat and my pants because it was just sort of goopy and messy because it doesn't have any of the thickening agents that most of the peanut butters that people get have. And the peanut butter is the same way, so it got everywhere, which was unfortunate, but it's just something to get used to. I've had 2 days off between Thursday and Friday, which were good because I need the days off, especially with how many hours I'm working. It's nice to still have those 2 days off, and I haven't gotten a lot done. There's definitely a lot. I mean, you can see my room behind me. Someone actually made a comment. They're like, "Clean your room before you make a video." The reason I don't is because to me, cleaning the room is a project. It's not like it's just like a simple mess. And I think I talked about this in a previous vlog where I mentioned how messy it was before. So it's sort of like a project that I'm doing in stages. And it's actually a little messier than it was because I got it to a certain point of cleanness, and then I haven't been able to clean it since, and I've made it a little messy since then. So it's not as clean as it was, but it will get finished. And I should have worked on it, yesterday or today, but I didn't. And so I'm not feeling too great about myself because I had these 2 days off, and I don't feel like I got a whole lot done, which is unfortunate. And something I'm going to hopefully talk about because it's definitely I really want to feel like I'm getting stuff done, and I don't really feel good when I don't feel like that, but it happens a lot, and it's probably one of the biggest things that sets off my depression, I think. And then today we went to the Cheesecake Factory. I just got back from it a couple hours ago. Yeah. Um, we were meeting a friend of my father's. He's known her since he worked with her in 2000. He since moved on to another job. I guess they've roughly kept in touch. I don't know. I don't know the whole story there, but we went to have dinner with her, and it was nice. The dinner was nice, and Cheesecake Factory, it's really pricey, but the food is good. The only reason I'm even mentioning it, though, is because during the dinner, there was conversation brought up, which I felt, it just made me feel bad. We were talking about, my creative tastes in making food, and, and my dad's friend was talking about, oh, that's really cool that you cook and stuff, and my sister was sort of rolling her eyes, because, I've made mistakes when I've cooked before. It's not like I'm perfect. I'm still learning, and so she's had some of my mistakes, and she judges me off of those mistakes. So she almost never tries anything I make, even when it turns out good, because she judges me off of those mistakes and assumes that everything I make is horrible. And my dad is the same way. And so whenever people talk about my cooking, they always think of those, and they always like to pretend that I'm an awful cook or I'm not really good at it, and it's hurtful. It's just indicative of pretty much the way that I've always felt like I've been treated growing up. Everything has always been criticism, and I never felt encouraged. It was one of the reasons I feel like I didn't do as well in school as I could have, because I never felt encouraged to do well. I never felt like I could. I didn't have the parent that said, you can do this. I always had the parent that said, why did you fail this, or why didn't you do well on this? And it just made me feel awful. It was bad enough that I didn't feel like I had friends to support me. I had literally no friends in middle school, and then only a few casual acquaintances as friends in high school, and all these kids picking on me. It was bad enough I had all that, and I didn't feel like I could go home and talk to someone about it. But then on top of that, I just felt criticism coming from all sides of home, and I still feel that even today. And it's sad and it's depressing, and I feel sort of down. I felt sort of down there in the conversation. Eventually the conversation got around to my dad being literally facetious and like, "Oh yeah, my son is amazing." And normally he just meant it as a joke. I know he didn't mean it to be hurtful, but that sort of joke is only funny when I know that my dad feels like I'm a good son, that he's proud of me. But I don't feel like I know that. I mean, to some extent I do, but it's only like this vague, abstract notion of I know my dad loves me, so he must be proud of me. He's never really shown me much of that love or that pride for the things that I've done and the things that I've accomplished. He's and it's not his style, but he's never really shown that to me. So whenever those sarcastic remarks come out, it's not funny to me. It's hurtful because it just reminds me of the fact that he never does those things for me. He never shows me that. And I mean, he's done it on a very rare occasion, but it's never felt genuine because he doesn't do it often enough for me. And he does for my sister, but not for me. And so it was really just hurtful, and I don't think he even got that. I don't think my sister even got that, just how hurt I was. And it went from being a pretty cool, fun dinner to all of a sudden just being really sad and making me depressed. I almost want to cry right now. Um, I made a video and I posted it talking about just very briefly about sort of why it was rough for me growing up. I didn't have the worst experience growing up. I actually had pretty good circumstances, but because of just very specific events in my life and the way things turned out, it was very rough for me to make friends and stuff like that in some of the most important times in my childhood. But I mentioned, I think in the description of that video, it only barely scratched the surface. The whole story that I could share about why I am the way I am is so long and so personal, and it hurts to share it, but I have shared it before and I'll share it again with people. It's just one second. It's just it's very hard for me to have confidence, and I tend to overthink things, and I tend to be very neurotic about things because it's just it's just the way that I've been growing up, because of all the circumstances in life and how they've shaped me and molded me. I feel broken as a person, and I know that, like, to some extent, maybe everyone is broken, because everyone has circumstances in their life that they've had to overcome for the most part. But I see so many other people doing so much better than I am, and I realize that I've made so many mistakes, and I just always wonder if circumstances had been slightly different, what would it be like? And I'm not saying that I wish my life was different, because I'm proud of where I've gotten. I just wish that I could be more proud. I just wish my confidence could be even better, because my lack of confidence is still something that haunts me even now. I have more confidence now than I did even just a few years ago, but it's still relatively low, and that's not an attractive quality. It makes it hard to make friends. It makes it hard to enter into relationships because I'm not confident in myself, or as confident as I should be. And I try to be happier, and I did choose happiness. I did realize, coming through all of everything that I've experienced, that happiness is a choice. Wow, this video is very long. I'm sorry. I'm just like exploding with all sorts of thoughts and emotions today. I think I'm approved for longer videos on YouTube though, so this will probably still make it in the upload. And if you watch the whole thing, congratulations. I've lost my train of thought with that. But, I mean, I know vaguely, just the whole sad train of thought that I've been on. I just feel like I just wish that just very simple things that other people seem to have in their confidence and their self-image, is just the way that they. Oh, I was talking about choosing happiness. Yes, I realized that happiness is a choice, and that I couldn't rely on others to give me happiness. But it doesn't mean that my happiness is perfect or complete. I try to be more optimistic, but I'm still a negative person because the circumstances of my life have driven me to be a negative person. And so if I'm a happy person, it's a happy person on top of being a negative person, and so it shows through, and it's not attractive. People don't like that. So it's definitely rough. But and that was all fired up tonight by that dinner, and hearing those things and being hurt by them, thinking I shouldn't have to be hurt by these things, but they do hurt. They hurt a lot. I promise the next vlog will be happier, because this is a very sad vlog and I don't want you to feel sad when you're watching my vlogs. That's not the intent of them. I don't know if I'll do one this weekend. Probably not, because I'm going to be working for another 24-hour shift, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you, Judge Rotenberg Center. Oh man, I hope I don't get fired for saying their name. Shoot. Jeez. Thank you for. I mean, I love the hours that they're giving me. I love the fact that I have a real job. But I mean, it's sort of obvious that the reason why I'm getting scheduled for these massive shifts during these holidays is because they don't have to pay me holiday pay, and it's sort of a little frustrating because I don't get to enjoy the best parts of these holidays. I didn't get to enjoy the night of New Year's Eve, which is the most important part of New Year's Eve. I didn't get to enjoy Christmas morning, which in my family is the most important part of Christmas. I don't get to enjoy the night of New Year's Eve, which is the most important part of New Year's Eve, and I don't get to enjoy the morning of New Year's Day, which is the most important part of New Year's Day, because it's the beginning of the year. I don't get to enjoy any of these things. They didn't leave me anything, not just even a small bit, and that's definitely frustrating. I mean, I still like the new job. I'm still so happy that I got it, but I think it's sensible that I'm a little frustrated that they didn't leave me even just a little bit of the holidays for me to, even a little bit of the best part of the holidays for me to enjoy. That's sort of frustrating. But maybe next year. But that's all I've got for you in this extremely negative vlog that's almost 20 minutes long. Jeez. But hopefully I'll be able to make more regular vlogs again and sort of manage my time better. I've got a lot that I want to talk about just in general and how I'm some things that I want to accomplish. So I definitely have some topics as opposed to just talking about what's happening in my life. But that's it for now. I will talk to you later. Bye.